All right, pay attention. I've got something extremely important to talk to you about today, and that's discipline. If you want to start winning at life, you want to start achieving goals at a high level, you've got to learn discipline. And if you can't learn discipline, I hate to tell you this, but it's a non-starter. I want you to sit here and think for a second about some of the most successful people that you know. Now, I guarantee there's going to be some common themes amongst the most successful people that you know, but the most significant and profound common theme that you're going to see amongst all of them is the fact that they're not just disciplined people, they're highly disciplined people. And chances are that these people learned discipline from a very young age, and therefore they've been able to hone that skill set over time. That's what makes them highly disciplined people. If you want to start achieving at that level, you've got to learn not just discipline, but a high level of discipline. Now look, I'm not going to make light of it. Discipline is a tricky thing, okay? It's a tricky thing to really understand and grasp mentally what discipline really is, and it's an even harder thing to implement into your life. But if you pay attention here over the next couple minutes, what I can do is break down what discipline is to such a basic and simplified level of understanding that there's no way that you won't be able to grasp what it is. You'll have a very clearly defined blueprint of what discipline is and how to implement it into your life. Now, one of the things that you probably notice here is in a lot of these videos, I talk about different things that sort of touch on topics from some of my other videos. That's not me trying to be repetitive or talk in circles, but the reason that I do that is that particularly with mindsets, a lot of these different things sort of supplement and complement the next thing, right? They're synergies of sorts, call them exactly what they are. So this sort of supplements and complements that, so on and so forth into another topic, okay? I think you kind of get the idea. Now with that in mind, you might remember in one of my other videos, I talked about the fact that you need to learn how to be brutally honest with yourself. And if you can't be brutally honest with yourself, you'll never be able to hold yourself accountable. Well, guess what? If you can't master accountability, you're gonna have a hell of a time with discipline. Now, what exactly is accountability? Accountability is just nothing more than a glorified form of staying committed to something and holding yourself responsible for the consequences and outcomes of whatever it is that you're trying to undertake. Now, I told you a second ago that I was going to break discipline down to its most simplified and basic level of understanding. Get out your notebooks, get out your pen, copy this down. Here it is. Discipline is nothing more than willpower and self-control in conjunction with conscious choice. And I think you can see why and how accountability ties in with that and why I'm mentioning it, okay? Again, let me repeat that for you. Discipline is nothing more than willpower and self-control in conjunction with conscious choice. And let's talk a little bit about that. I'm going to give you a very practical example. Now, full disclaimer here in this example that I'm about to give you, okay? I'm by no means the epitome of men's health and fitness here, all right? I'd fancy myself to be in much better shape than the average person out there, but trust me, I go to the gym and there's people who are in phenomenal shape who could run circles around me. In fact, they could run circles around me backwards, okay? Forget about it, right? But the thing is, I use a lot of these goals with fitness and with going to the gym because chances are if you're watching this video, particularly this time of year where people have New Year's resolutions, they're trying to get in shape, they're saying to themselves, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and hey, I'm gonna hit the gym really hard. This is finally the year that I'm gonna get that beach body. I'm gonna drop 25 pounds. I'm gonna get shredded. I'm gonna look awesome. This is the year. I'm finally gonna do it. Sound familiar? What ends up happening, right? Life happens, you get thrown off track, right? So this is why I use a lot of these fitness examples, all right? All right, so going back to that fitness goal, and again, I'm not saying that I'm Mr. Fitness here by any stretch, all right? But what happens? You start off with that goal and you do really well with it. You start to eat right, you start to hit the gym, you're doing this for about a week, 2 weeks, things are going good. And then life happens, okay? All of a sudden, I don't know, you don't get to eat a really good lunch one day, something falls into your lap at work, you end up having to stay another 2 or 3 hours later than what you thought, and by the time you get out of work, because of the fact that you're a little dehydrated, you're tired, you didn't have a good lunch, you feel fatigued, you have a little headache, you gotta be up early the next day, and you say to yourself, you know what, I'm not really feeling the gym tonight, I'm not gonna go. Now, all right, look, if you did that one time, is that gonna completely and totally blow up your goal of getting that beach body? No. But you know what happens is that one time that you blow it off, it starts a habit, right? And here's the thing, it's not so much that it starts a habit, it's that that habit is already there in your life. And let me explain exactly what I'm talking about, okay? As a society, we have become way too soft, all right? We have so many luxuries and comforts that we don't even realize that we have, that we just start defaulting to them. And one of those luxuries and comforts is that when we get into a situation just like I described, where something's gonna be a little unpleasant, something's gonna be a little uncomfortable, we just say, yeah, you know what, it's whatever, I'll blow that off, I'll get back at it tomorrow when I feel better, okay? Want to be. And that's really where discipline comes in. Discipline is exactly what I said it is a second ago. It's conscious choice. It's the conscious choice in that situation that I'm describing right there to say, you know what, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I have a little headache, I gotta be up early tomorrow, going to the gym tonight is gonna kind of suck, it's not gonna be pleasant, but I need to do this. because if I blow it off, I'm going to keep on blowing it off and I'm not going to get to where I need to be. See, people don't think about it that way. They don't even recognize it as conscious choice. Yeah, taking that one night off, if it's just one night, isn't necessarily going to blow it out of the water, but it's not that one night. It's that you're starting that habit, or like I said, that habit's already there and you're just continuing it. You need to break the habit. You need to recognize the conscious choice right there to do the right thing. That's what it comes down to. It's the self-control and the willpower to do what is unpleasant. The problem is, as a society, like I just said a second ago, we don't want to do the things that aren't pleasant. But you know what? You're not going to get to that level that you want to be at unless you go outside your comfort zone. And that's the thing. We don't go outside our comfort zone. What you're going to realize is that the further you go outside your comfort zone, the more successful that you're going to be. That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the conscious choice to go outside the comfort zone, particularly when it's not fun, particularly when it's not pleasant. But when you force yourself to do it, that's what you're going to need to do to stay on point. And in situations like that, I mean, I can tell you personally, there's days where sometimes I work 13, 14-hour days in totality. And then, I'm on the road, I check into the hotel somewhere, and I've got to be out relatively early the next day. But you know what? Situations like that, I force myself to go to the gym. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, it sucks, okay? When I get in there and I start the workout, it's a little sluggish, it's a little bit of a slow go, but you know what ends up happening? I get my second wind. I listen to some good music, I get pumped up, and then next thing I know, all right, I'm getting my second wind. Now I'm crushing the workout. What I've been noticing lately is that some of the best workouts I've ever had have been in situations where I didn't even want to do them in the first place, but you've got to force yourself to do them. And I think what you're going to start realizing here is when you take yourself outside your comfort zone, yeah, it's going to be a little sluggish, it's going to be a little unpleasant, particularly in the early stages, in the slow go, right? But all of a sudden, something pretty phenomenal is going to start happening, and you're going to notice that actually in situations like that, that's sometimes where you're going to get the best performance. And if you can keep on doing that and you can build that into other things, there's no limit to how successful you're going to be. But again, it's the discipline to make yourself go outside the comfort zone, to make those choices that aren't pleasant. That's what it comes down to. And accountability ties into that perfectly, because accountability is holding yourself responsible for it. All right, I'll give you another example. Muhammad Ali, arguably the greatest boxer of all time. Now, quick sidebar here for a second, because I already know there's a couple of you out there that are already rolling your eyes and saying, well, Z, technically his name's actually Cassius Clay. Okay, let me stop you right there, all right? This is America. It's a free country. If a man wants to call himself Muhammad Ali, God damn it, you should respect that man's wishes and call him Muhammad Ali. And that's all that I have to say about that. And yes, that was an obscure Coming to America reference, but I felt it was relevant since we're going to bring up Muhammad Ali. Anyway, neither here nor there. Let's exit sidebar and get back on point. This guy was in insane physical shape. He could pop off sit-ups like it was nobody's business. Somebody said to him one day, how many sit-ups can you actually do? He said, I don't know, I've never counted. And they said, oh, you've never counted how many sit-ups you can do? He said, no, I count my sit-ups, but the thing is, I don't start counting until they start to hurt, because the ones that start to hurt are the only repetitions that count for something. Now think about that. Here's a guy who functions at such a high level of accountability and discipline that he doesn't even begin counting his repetitions until it starts to hurt. Okay, and with a guy like him in the insane shape he was, it probably took a lot just to get him to the point where it started to hurt. Okay, that's why this guy is arguably the greatest of all time. And I'm not trying to bash anybody or be condescending or mean-spirited. To the mindset that most of you have, where you say, I don't know, I'm a little tired, I'm gonna blow the gym off tonight. That's why you can't get the beach body that you want year over year, but yet somebody with that type of mindset, that's why he's arguably the greatest of all time, okay? Another way of looking at it is oftentimes people trade what they want most for what they want at the moment. What they want at the moment is to be comfortable, okay? Like we just talked about, being comfortable isn't gonna get you to where you wanna be, and you default to always wanting to be comfortable because you don't have the discipline to force you to do the thing that's uncomfortable, okay? The thing that's comfortable and the thing that's gonna help you achieve your goal in the long term, those things are almost always in conflict with one another. What you need to start doing is starting to think about things in a different way. And here's the way that you really need to start thinking about it. When you're faced with one of these decisions where, okay, I either have to do this or I have to do that, whatever the case might be, okay? Don't look at it in terms of what's the difficult thing, what's the easy thing. Look at it in terms of what you're trying to accomplish relative to your goal, and ask yourself this: is this helping me or is this hurting me? And here's what you gotta do. Make a promise to yourself that you will hold yourself accountable to say, I will only do what is going to help me. If you can do that, let me tell you something. You are going to be absolutely floored and mind blown at how much it changes your life and how successful you're going to become as a result of just thinking about it that way. If you can hold yourself accountable to making that decision time and time again. And you're going to notice you will be in a lot of these situations where you have to make that decision. All right? Start making that decision. You're going to be surprised and you're going to be really happy at where it's going to take you. Okay? I can't make it any clearer than that. The blueprint's there for you. All right? Go out there and do what you got to do.